Hey, how you doing today? I'm Skitty Beans, and today we are going to be watching a video about elephants from our favorite Casual Geographic. So I'm excited for this one. I really like elephants. They seem like they're so smart and agile sometimes, and then I know they probably have very unhinged moments as well. But I think elephants are pretty cool animals. So I'm excited for this one. As always, I have his Casual Geographics video linked below. And if you get a chance, please leave a like and subscribe. It'll help me out a bunch. Also, if you do have any recommendations, just put them in the comments below. I'm always looking for stuff to watch. It doesn't have to be animal facts necessarily. It could be all like pretty much anything animal related. So any suggestions always welcome. So let's see what we got going today.
If Helen Keller was alive to see what this animal looks like, she'd probably resign from life all over again. When you think of some of the weirdest, most aesthetically atypical animals on Earth, chances are you probably don't think of the elephant. But imagine trying to explain the concept of a four-legged behemoth in the weight class of a semi-truck, with a leviathan for a nose, a trypophobic's night terror for a tail, several superpowers and intelligence that might just rival our own, all while flexing the devil's utensils for an overbite. Well,
They're so pretty. Oh, I love how elephants look.
That might just rival our own, all while flexing.
Like, look at them. That's a big one. I mean, all elephants are huge, but those tusks out there, those things are huge. I feel like elephants are just so cool. I think elephants are cool.
The devil's utensils for an overbite. Well, in honor of today being National Thai Elephant Day, and elephants being my all-time favorite animal, here's why the bouncers of the savannah have an argument for not just the weirdest, but maybe even the most perfect animal in nature. Now,
oh, the most perfect animal. That is a statement. Okay. I'm listening.
And have an argument for not just the weirdest, but maybe even the most perfect animal in nature. Now, they didn't always look like this, and honestly, thank the stars for second drafts.
Is that wait, is that what they really thought they looked like back then? Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm glad they evolved into what they look like now, because that is wow. That is something.
Platypelodon was an ancient ancestor with the facial configuration of a shovel. Apparently having a spork for a jaw allowed them to undress a tree for its bark, but it
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense, but that is horrifying looking. That is, oh, yikes.
Configuration of a shovel. Apparently having a spork for a jaw allowed them to undress a tree for its bark, but it also makes it look like the subject of a patent sip spiked with LS. Then you got Dinotherium, because apparently nature played pin the teeth on a tusker and it took a couple tries. Technically they're not true elephants and more like a distant cousin.
This looks like something AI made and got, like you said, your prompt was make me an elephant. And it got the prompt a little off. That's what this looks like. Huge animals preceding the age of man. Oh my goodness. Why does it look so angry? They couldn't have been that angry, right?
But then again, it's not like the elephant's actual relatives make any more sense, because elephants have the most confusing family reunion of any creature, with their closest kin being the definitely not a rodent rock hyrax, and Columbus' wet dream the manatee, and the dugong. To be fair,
a dugong? I don't know what that is. Oh, look at this. This is the hyrax. I love hyraxes. I think they're so cool. They're so cute. Look at that little face and the little fangs. Oh, love it. Love them. Love them.
Fair, I guess hyraxes do have tusks, and apparently manatees have the same nail tech, but
oh, I didn't know that.
Well, to be fair, I guess hyraxes do have tusks, and apparently manatees have the same.
I don't know, arm, whatever looks like that. That does look very elephant-like. I should watch a video on manatees. I should add that to the list.
Same nail tech, but elephants are also in the same Afroterior group as aardvarks, tenrecs, and golden moles.
Golden moles. That looks pretty cute. They all look pretty cute. What an interesting family tree elephants have. That's wild.
Yeah, you heard that right. I said mole. By the way, elephants didn't just get less weird looking, we just got desensitized to them. There is no build on Earth quite like the elephant, and it isn't until you look at all that nonsense separately and put it back together again that it starts to make sense. Beauty is skin deep. So that's exactly where we're starting.
Oh, I think they're beautiful. I like them. They look great.
This picture went viral because many came to the conclusion that elephants aren't light gray, just chronically ashy, and that's for a couple of reasons. Elephants can live 70 years in the wild, and they do that without ever touching lotion a day in their life, so maybe don't be so judgmental. But for how thick it is, elephant skin is pretty sensitive, so they'll use dust baths and mud masks to protect against the oppressive African sun. Because humans weren't the first to come up with skincare, and depending on the color of the mud, you can get an elephant straight out of King Midas's palace, or a herd in red face from the volcanic dust of Sava.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. They're so smart though. You know, they're taking care of their skin. It's okay if they're wrinkly. I like the wrinkles. Look at this little baby. Adorable. I love it all. I love them.
You can get an elephant straight out of King Midas's palace, or a herd in red face from the volcanic dust of Sava. You can also find white elephants covered in clay and mud, not to be confused with the white Asian, call it Wasian elephants that were revered by royalty. Also,
Wasian. The Wasian. Oh, I like that. I like that term, Wasian. I'm gonna have to use that. I don't know when or how or if I'll ever, but I will have to remember that. Oh, I like the white one too. I don't know. I don't think there's one I don't like.
not to be confused with the white Asian, call it Wasian elephants that were revered by royalty. Also, depigmentation means Asian elephants have freckles, but let me stop waffling. The skin itself has more cracks than a tanorexic and looks suspiciously like what a drought in their neighborhood looks like. And it's
Anorexic. I can't remember the last time I heard that term. I mean, I'm old, so I can't. I remember people, you know, when tanning beds were all the rage. I do remember people either referring themselves as anorexics or, you know, like people, you could tell they would hit the tanning bed really hard, and that's what they'd call them. But I can't remember the last time I ever heard somebody use that, though. Oh, he has brownie points for that one.
Skin itself has more cracks than a tanorexic and looks suspiciously like what a drought in their neighborhood looks like, and it's because the tiny network of dermal ditches and valleys means their skin retains 10 times the water it would if they had glass skin. It's great defense against the sun, but not completely against insects. Which brings us to this. There's two types of people, those that know what an elephant's tail looks like up close, and those I owe an apology, and probably a bill for therapy. If you've ever touched one, it feels like cheap plastic. So basically a built-in fly swatter for an animal with no hands and more junk.
Oh my god, I bet that hurt. Holy hell. I actually never saw an elephant tail that close. That's pretty cool. And it feels like plastic, so it's like a fly swatter. That's cool. So they got that covered for them.
Touched one, it feels like cheap plastic. So basically a built-in fly swatter for an animal with no hands and more
oh god. Oh, I bet that got his attention.
Junk than its trunk can reach. Pause. They also have hair on their heads, and like everything else about this pachyderm, this too has a purpose. Elephants have about 1 hair per square inch to our 1,300, and social distancing fur follicles actually transfers heat away from the elephant, in some cases by over 20%. That's how you get a baby elephant with a better lineup than me. You see, he doesn't have to wear a hat. And with Asian elephants,
oh. I kind of like all the little hairs on their head. The little,
that's how you get a baby.
This one. That's actually... I love this. I love this.
The elephant with a better lineup than me. You see, he doesn't have to wear a hat. And with Asian elephants being hairier, they're much more liable to grow bangs. And
oh my gosh. They look... I mean, this one looks like he's got a fur sweater, you know, like some hairy men do. Nothing against really hairy men, I'm just saying. That's what it kind of reminds me of. But, oh, the hair. I love the hair.
Have to wear a hat. And with Asian elephants being hairier, they're much more liable to grow bangs and score an audition on Abbey Road. That doesn't even scratch the surface of their weirdness.
Aww.
The African variety has large ears with blood vessels that also helps them with the heat while also looking suspiciously like the continent they live on. That heat is why they're also one of the few animals with their testes locked inside next to their kidneys.
What? Their testes are locked inside next to their kidneys. What? Wow. Huh.
That heat is why they're also one of the few animals with
That's crazy. So this is what the inside of it. Actually don't know what an inside of an elephant looks like. That's, huh. That is interesting. Wow. They are very impressive animals.
with their testes locked inside next to their kidneys. Honestly, for the best.
Yeah.
Elephants also
Oh,
have a
oh, God.
pharyngeal pouch behind the tongue, pretty much an emergency 4-liter life flask to hold them over during a bad drought. I didn't even know that. They have feet
Oh, so they can just fill that with water, and then when they need it, if it's like if they didn't get any water that day, it'll just pull from that. Whoa. Huh.
an emergency 4-liter life flask to hold them over during a bad drought. I didn't even know that. They have feet that actually we'll get to that. They have modified teeth that are arguably the biggest flex in the animal kingdom, but probably too big because it's also gotten them violated by poachers to the point where evolution is starting to backpedal on tusks. Also, elephants have big personalities.
Oh, this elephant's got great assets. Yep. Yes. Yes, yes.
To be fair, they are mammals, and mammals with mammaries are nothing special. But that trunk it might just be the second most OP body part in nature, with the first
The elephants get fresh. Yo, elephants are top tier.
special. But that trunk it might just be the second most OP body part in nature, with the first being thumbs. An elephant's trunk has 40,000 muscles. That's about 40,000
40,000 muscles? Whoa. So they can, oh my gosh. So what can't they pick up with that thing?
First being thumbs. An elephant's trunk has 40,000 muscles. That's about 40,000 reasons to stay out of their hitbox.
Yeah.
They also have 400,000 nerves controlling it. That means the
400,000 nerves. Wow. Oh, I love this. It's painting a little picture. Oh, I don't know. There's something about elephants that just, oh, it just warms my heart.
same trunk that can deadlift 2 prime shacks at 700 pounds is also delicate enough to pluck a blade of grass. And that's cause the tip of the trunk has prehensile grip. That's not the only thing that's prehensile, but I digress. It's kind of like fingers that African elephants have 2 of and Asians only 1, and it allows a full-time quadruped to pick stuff up. They're also one of the very few animals able to throw, and the day they develop aimbot, humanity is cooked.
Yeah, right? That's impressive, though. Although I wonder if they could just grab it and just be like, bonk, bonk, and just bonking people with it. Oh, yeah. I mean, that'd be funny, but it might kill you.
They're also one of the very few animals able to throw, and the day they develop aimbot, humanity is cooked. There's plenty of other uses for their trunk, some of them even social. It's so complicated that not only does it take a year or 2 for babies to figure them all out, baby elephants even have an awkward phase where they literally don't know what to do with it. It's actually why you'll see them helicopter it around. There's a joke
Oh, that's so funny, though. I love that. I mean, that's fair. I mean, elephants got a lot going on developmentally, you know, so I could imagine that it could take a year for one to figure out what the hell is what, how something works. And I mean, like, it's like babies in their hands and their feet, you know. It's like they're sticking their feet in their mouth because they don't know what the hell they are. I love this.
have an awkward phase where they literally don't know what to do with it. It's actually why you'll see them helicopter it around. There's a joke in there somewhere. I'm not gonna make it. I'm sure the comments will, but just know we're not that different. And if you
Is that like helicopter and helicopter, you know, like impress the ladies with your helicopter? Yep. Okay, got it.
you follow a young elephant long enough, you'll even see it step on its own trunk. It
Oh,
takes time for them
no.
to get all the controls down, but until they do, its best use is as a pacifier. But it takes more than looking like nature's science project for me to confidently call you the weirdest animal on the planet. You better
No, they're cute. Look at it. It's a pacifier. Oh, I love this.
be packing some pretty impressive abilities too. And let it be known, no animal packs more than an elephant. First, super strength. Elephants are
Oh my gosh. I don't want to go back and look, but holy moly.
More than capable of humbling an entire tree of the endgame's extra calories. Plus,
Oh,
being the biggest
wow.
thing with life and legs on the planet means this is what happens when second and third forget their place. In a battle royale featuring every land animal, ain't nothing touching a motivated male elephant. Elephants also have the best smell of the animal kingdom, strong enough to threaten a bloodhound's job security. They can sniff out a watering hole over 10 miles away, and they don't
10 miles? Wow. This was a lot that just got said here in a very short amount of time. My brain is just trying to take it all in. But oh my gosh. I wonder how off or how well they can outplay predators, or like, I guess, animals that are considered predators that maybe try to F around and find out with an elephant. How often are they outplayed by the elephant, and then just get deleted?
just smell where or what food, but elephants can smell how much food. In experiments,
How much food? Oh man, I'm glad I don't have that superpower. Oh god, because I'd be like, hey, you shorted me 5 fries. I would be a menace.
just smell where or what food, but elephants can smell how much food. In experiments, elephants were able to consistently sniff and pick the container with the most sunflower seeds without even eyeballing it. A test even dogs failed. Elephants are also way better swimmers than they have any business being. Most mammals can swim, but bigger ones like rhinos and giraffes are pretty poor. And despite gatekeeping watering holes and being a literal land whale, hippos technically can't swim at all.
Hippos can't swim at all? Really? I didn't know that. I should watch a video on hippos too. Okay, this my list is growing. So manatees, hippos for sure. Because the only thing I know about hippos is they eat a lot, and they can be pretty temperamental, and mooding is life. That's all I know.
Elephants can't relate. They can swim for hours and cover miles searching for food. There's even a theory that munchies made modern-day mastodons swim from India to the nearby island of Sri Lanka. To put in perspective, there's at least one shark on the planet aware of the existence of elephants. That's kind of crazy to think about. Elephants also have
I love that. Hold on, I want to go back. I love this shot of them swimming. They look so
modern-day
cool.
mastodons swim from India to the nearby island of Sri Lanka. To put in perspective, there's at least one shark on the planet aware of the existence of elephants. That's kind of crazy to think about. Elephants also have infrasonic hearing and can communicate through low-frequency vibrations. They're too low for any of us to hear, but the sound can travel for miles, and the pachyderms pick up the long-distance calls through their feet. See, I told you.
What? What? That is, elephants have some like crazy superpowers. Elephants are super animal. I'm convinced they are a super animal. This is fascinating. I can't. I'm I clearly have no words. This is wild. Wow.
Sound can travel for miles, and the pachyderms pick up the long-distance calls through their feet. See, I told you we'd get back to that. Thanks to a fatty, spongy-like cushion. Also,
Fatty, spongy-like cushion. Okay. So then that absorbs it through their feet. I guess we'll call them feet, and then that's how they can communicate. That's crazy. For anybody that calls other people elephants, as like a fat joke, I don't know. Kind of. You'd almost have to wear it as a badge of honor. Be like, bro, you know how cool elephants are? You know what? I'm just saying. Not that you should ever, be an asshole like that, but they're out there. So I'm just saying.
you're seeing that right. Elephants do have built-in high heels. That's why there are stories of elephants saving people from tsunamis before they even happen. Elephants even have different infracalls with different meanings. Because of course they do.
Because of course they do, yeah. Oh my gosh. And they're like compassionate animals, I guess. I don't know. They're rescuing people. Saved me from the tsunami, the incredible bond between a little girl and a baby jumbo. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Elephants are so cool. I'm probably gonna say that 100 times.
Elephants even have different infracalls with different meanings. Because of course they do. You got a greeting rumble used when a family member gone for hours suddenly returns, a rumble the matriarch uses to get the herd moving, and even a congratulation rumble for when an elephant in the group gets laid. That's
It's the ultimate high five. Like, yeah, man, yeah, you finally got your pee wet. Congrats, high fives all around.
to get the herd moving, and even a congratulation rumble for when an elephant in the group gets laid. That's a Snapple fact for you. Not to be confused with the symphony of an elephant baby shower. In fact, those calls are often how they end up with a baby. See, the problem with spending nearly 2 years pregnant and another 10 raising a calf that comes out is dating's a different.
They spent 2 years being pregnant? Holy moly. Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh my. I mean, I don't have any children, but I can't. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? You're pregnant for 2 years? 2 years. Oh my God. Somebody get these mama elephants that I don't even know. They deserve a national day, International Elephant Mama Day, Elephant Day. I don't know. I don't know.
The problem with spending nearly 2 years pregnant and another 10 raising a calf that comes out is dating's a different kind of drought. A mother elephant might be open for business once every 5 years, so once that window does open, she makes the elephant equivalent of a Facebook event by broadcasting a booty call to every eligible bachelor in the area.
Oh my gosh. I mean, you know, you just gotta get it done. You know, that biological clock be ticking. Fair enough.
Equivalent of a Facebook event by broadcasting a booty call to every eligible bachelor in the area. It's like a Batman symbol for down bad bulls, and before long, she's attracted more testosterone than the state of Florida during spring break. And
I mean, hey, she deserves to have options, okay? I'm down with it. She deserves to have options.
like a 13,000-pound frat boy drunk off lust, violence is the only option, where the winner gets to pass on his genes, while the loser makes sure he's not the only one that's sore. Now, the next superpower is no surprise, because you've definitely heard the phrase, an elephant never forgets.
Yeah.
Depending on the context, that's either a throwaway fact or a very real threat. But elephants do have steel trap memory, and it's because their life literally depends on it. As an elephant, the
Wait, that looks so personal. He's like, this guy, he didn't give me my snack today.
elephants do have steel trap memory, and it's because their
And
life
I remember.
literally depends on it.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
As an elephant, the most important resource in your life is water. And during the dry season, that can mean walking hundreds of miles to the next watering hole. Imagine living in an area the size of New York with only 5 water fountains and no Google Maps to bail you out. All you have is your memory. That's why elephant herds are led by a matriarch who uses her years of experience to not only bring her family to water, but to the right watering hole at the right time of year. Get it wrong and the whole herd becomes the beginning of a Disney movie. Instead, you got Big Mama carrying
He said, just don't worry, they're just sleeping. Oh, thank God. I thought they were dead too. That's impressive though. Wow. That they can remember and like map themselves out like that. That's incredible.
right time of year. Get it wrong and the whole herd becomes the beginning of a Disney movie. Instead, you got Big Mama carrying the entire family off a brain that runs like a supercomputer, able to pull memories older than some of the members of the herd when she needs it. So as you can see, elephants don't just have one of the freakiest builds in nature, but one of the craziest skill sets too. It's how the largest landlubber on the planet can survive and thrive on the savannah, in dense tropical jungles, desolate hellscape and sun-baked deserts, and even inside dark caves to mine salt.
What? They go in caves too? I didn't know this. This is new. This is new information to me. Like rainforest, desert, stuff like that. Yeah, caves? I had no clue.
Elephants be splunking, but all those abilities wouldn't mean as much without the most busted ability of all, their intelligence. Elephants aren't smart, dogs and cats are smart. Now elephants are prodigies. In my admittedly biased opinion, they're the smartest thing on the planet that isn't a human, and sometimes they give us a run for the title. They might not be putting elephants on the moon or breaking down quantum physics or watching Rick and Morty, but elephants do one-up humans every so often. Some Asian elephants have memorized the schedules of trucks carrying sugar cane and will wait posted on the side of the road just to hold up the truck to help themselves to the harvest.
I love that though. That's great. Oh, gosh. That is cool that they're so smart, though. I mean, I would imagine that probably gives you quite the leg up in the whole whole scheme of the being a wild animal, though. You know, if you're smarter than probably the majority of animals out there.
They even figured out how to take just enough to satisfy themselves, but not so much that they force the drivers to do something about it. It's basically an elephant enforced toll, but okay, you're not impressed. I got you.
It's like the cheese tax. I get it. You just gotta pay the sugarcane tax, and it's fine.
Elephants raiding crops have led some farmers to protect their product using an electric fence. Clearly they weren't familiar with their game because those same elephants eventually learned how to disarm the fences without getting hurt. And that's the thing with its memory, it really only takes one experience for an elephant to learn from to have that knowledge for the rest of its life and pass it off to others. And
Well, how smart they are. They're so smart. Oh, I love it. I love it so much.
experience for an elephant to learn from to have that knowledge for the rest of its life and pass it off to others. And a prime example of that are the elephants of Amboseli National Park in Kenya, where they've learned to tell the difference between the language of the Maasai tribes that historically hunted them and the dialect of other tribes that they don't have beef with. Those elephants even have a stronger reaction to the voices of men versus women and children.
That's wild. So they know they know who the people were that were hunting them, and then who don't, like either don't care or maybe were nice to them. That's crazy. Wow. Huh. I would say they're smarter than most people.
Beef with. Those elephants even have a stronger reaction to the voices of men versus women and children, since at one point they caught on that men were more of a threat. But okay, maybe an elephant understanding human doesn't impress you. What about one that speaks it? Koshik the elephant.
What? No. What? No. Ain't no way. That's wow. What?
Elephant understanding human doesn't impress you. What about one that speaks it? Koshik the elephant shocked the world when he started imitating his Korean caretaker with pretty eerie accuracy.
What? That sound, I honestly, it took me a minute to figure out which was the elephant and which was the guy. What? Wow. Yo, elephants. Elephants are S tier. Yep, S tier.
Elephants are also on the VIP list of animals self-aware enough to recognize their reflection and pass the mirror test. They also pass another awareness test that might just be more impressive. So the University of Cambridge did an experiment where they had elephants pass a stick to a researcher, except the stick would be attached to a mat that the elephants would be standing on. So the elephants would have to have the self-awareness to realize they needed to step off the mat to pass the stick. And of course, they had a control group where everything was the same except the stick wasn't attached. Well, 42 times out of 48, the elephant stepped off the mat before passing the stick, compared to just 3 when it wasn't attached.
Oh, oh, wow. Look how smart they are. Oh, I can't get over this. This is fascinating. This is so cool. I low-key want an elephant.
48, the elephant stepped off the mat before passing the stick, compared to just 3 when it wasn't attached. And maybe that's not a big deal and I'm just being a big nerd about it, but that's arguably more impressive than being able to peep yourself in the mirror, but that's just me. I didn't even mention pregnant elephants apparently self-medicating with the plant Borjanae seed in order to induce labor, which some women in the same area apparently drink as tea for the same reason.
How do they know? What? How do they know? That's cool though, that they know that, and then women in that area do the same thing. That's so cool. I think that's so cool.
Induce labor, which some women in the same area apparently drink as tea for the same reason. There's different ways of being smart, but it's a tusk jockey's emotional intelligence that really sets them apart. You've probably seen the videos of elephant herds seeming to mourn the dead after coming across the bones of a relative. And considering their almost unnatural sense of smell, there's a good chance they knew exactly who that was, and it's not just other elephants they grieve. Lawrence Anthony was a conservationist who saved a herd of elephants from certain death after they escaped a reserve and were about to be shot, and Anthony somehow communicated with the matriarch enough to bring them back, earning him the nickname the Elephant Whisperer.
Oh, what a good man. And I bet they never forgot him.
He would die suddenly in 2011, and in the days
Oh
after,
no.
the same elephants he had rescued showed up to his house and seemed to hold a 2-day vigil. Not
Oh my god. Oh, my heart. Oh, that gave me like chills though, hearing that story. Oh, elephants are incredible.
The same elephants he had rescued showed up to his house and seemed to hold a 2-day vigil. Not only was this after not visiting for more than a year, some of the elephants traveled well over 12 hours for the funeral, and apparently they would
Oh
return
my
the next
gosh.
several years on the
For 3 years running on the exact anniversary of her beloved husband Lawrence's premature death in 2012, the herd came up to the perimeter fencing around her house to pay respects to him. Oh my god. How could this not make you cry though if you were her? Oh god, I'd be bawling my eyes out.
The elephants traveled well over 12 hours for the funeral, and apparently they would return the next several years on the exact date of his death to pay their respects. But that leaves just one question. How?
Yeah.
How did they know? Maybe one of the elephants saw or smelt something off and sent an infrasonic message to the others. Maybe the emergency vehicles on the property somehow got their attention. We don't know for sure, and we probably never will. Mourning
Right? Yeah. I mean, yeah, how did they figure it out that he died? But I'm like speechless by this. This is incredible.
on the property somehow got their attention. We don't know for sure, and we probably never will. Mourning the dead is just a surface of elephant empathy, because elephants are the textbook example of animal altruism. Elephants will adopt non-related orphans into the group so long that it doesn't put their own young at risk. Bundala was an elephant in a theme park who figured out how to get out of her shackles and immediately freed the others, despite the fact that they likely weren't her immediate family, and the fact that doing so made it more likely she'd get caught. That's
Aw, what a good elephant. She didn't care. She wanted to free everybody. Oh gosh.
same altruism doesn't just apply to their own kind. There have been stories of these massive beasts seemingly protecting sleeping or injured humans with really nothing in it for them. And you can find videos of an elephant trying to save a rhino stuck in a watering hole, even if the rhino doesn't necessarily realize it. Don't get it twisted, they're not Mary Sue's. Elephants are still wild animals with varying personalities that subtract hundreds of humans a year. And of course, yeah, I didn't forget.
Elephant kills woman and returns to her funeral to attack her corpse. Oh god. Oh my god, can you? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe some beef was had. This is crazy though. This part. This is crazy that elephant helping the rhino and then the other one. I don't know. Maybe that one just had like a bad experience with vehicles or something.
Realize it. Don't get it twisted. They're not Mary Sue's. Elephants are still wild animals with varying personalities that subtract hundreds of humans a year. And of course, yeah, I didn't forget about this.
That
While
is
some say the
wild.
woman was involved with poaching and this was just an elephant refusing to let it slide, there's also the chance that woman ran into the wrong one at a worse time, or was just a victim of a really bad case of mistaken identity and got memed into oblivion for it.
I mean, to be fair, I can imagine that there's probably plenty of animals, just like people. Everybody has a bad day. We're just not, 900 pounds kind of bad day that we could, easily destroy things. But I can definitely understand, like, maybe, it was just a bad day. It was just a bad day.
But when you take their one-of-a-kind design, their almost comic book superpowers, and the fact that their mind really is an enigma, I think that adds up to the most perfect animal nature ever did create. Not just a perfect animal, I'd even go as far as calling them the main character. We're talking about an absolute unit that creates entire ecosystems just by being themselves. And honestly, I don't think they belong in captivity. The animals that usually do the worst in zoos are the ones that are highly intelligent.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, maybe they don't need to be in zoos or captivity. I think maybe that's something if you want to study them and do more research, maybe you gotta get your ass out there in the wild, do it out there maybe. Because you could potentially make a positive relationship with elephants, that you could study them and they're happy. Because I can imagine that like really smart animals, they can't be happy in zoos, or in captivity, or in, whether they're being caged for, or I don't know if caged is the right word, but being kept for research, like for research, I guess, but it's also, I feel like it is kind of cruel, whether or not you think you're doing a good thing or not.
Highly social, and normally travel huge distances. Elephants are 3 for 3. I'm not a huge anti-zoo person. All zoos aren't created equal. Some really do their best, but often the best case for a caged elephant isn't that good. Even with Coach Sheik the talking elephant, he was never socialized around other elephants early on, just humans. That's a miserable way to live for anyone.
Right? That's true. Yeah. I would, yeah. I mean, I guess that's true too. I definitely don't hate zoos, but I definitely have quite a different outlook on zoos now of maybe there's just some animals that shouldn't be in there. Like I know it's not that simple, you know, because if you have elephants, that's like a big deal. I'm pretty sure my zoo has elephants. But I definitely see it. I definitely see the pros and cons, or a good zoo versus a bad zoo, you know?
The world is just better off when elephants are doing well, and I'll gladly die on that hill. I just hope the elephants come to visit it. But that's it for this video. Make sure you drink water, hug your loved ones. If this video gets, I'm gonna say 150k likes, I'll go to an elephant sanctuary somewhere and record it. But
Oh, I hope he did. Oh, I would want to see that. I bet he'd be so stoked to see some elephants there. Oh, I hope he did get to go. I'll have to look and see. Because he deserves it. He deserves to go. Oh, you should. You should.
Until then, I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.
Oh. Oh, he's trying to say hi. Oh, he wants a hug. Hug the elephant. Hug it. Oh my god, I love that. That was so cute. I love that. This was great. I love this video. This is probably one of my favorite ones I've seen. I always thought elephants were cool. Always liked them. You know, like I never was just like, ugh. But I learned a lot. They're incredible. These are incredible, incredible animals. And I hope that nothing ever threatens their population, because they are just amazing. I think this was great. I that's all I have to say. This was great. Incredible. So be sure to subscribe to Casual Geographic. He does an awesome job. I love watching his videos. I feel like I always learn so much from him. So it's such a great, like, fun, educational, but just really fascinating things that I've been learning lately, and I really appreciate him for that. So be sure to go support him, subscribe to him, watch his videos, all that good stuff. And thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a great day. If you don't mind, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It would help me out a bunch. And if you do have any suggestions, just leave them in the comments below, and I will definitely take a look at them. But until then, I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.